Side running, son.
And we've got horse shit all over the floor. If you let your dog do that, you'd probably be fined. How's it going? I've got a quick question for you. Who's in charge of clearing up all the horse shit?
What's that?
Who's in charge of clearing up all the horse shit?
The council do it.
The council do it? What, daily, do they?
They do it once the festival's over.
Once the festival's over.
So they can't bring vehicles in when they do all the pedestrians?
No, of course. But like in general, like who's in charge of it when the horse isn't out about? It's the council has to go around and do it. So it's like if I walk with my dog and fouled, you know.
Dogs is different.
Why?
Because by law you have to pick up your dog mess.
Pardon?
Law says you have to pick up the dog mess.
But why dog mess and not horse mess?
That's one for the government and not for
Yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it? I just find it a bit weird, that's all. There's no say it's all over the floor and that, so people treading that everywhere. So I'd ask, just to find out who clears it up and that, and why the law isn't, but... Listen.
Ask him one thing.
Yeah? Cool, no worries. Yeah, you can see it all along the floor up there. Absolutely no interest. More of it up on the road up there. Disgusting. Forever accidentally turning that camera around, didn't I? Oh god, truckload of coppers over here. What is going on here? This is where they're all hiding. They're all gathered up here. Must be that nursery right there with like 10 sitting on the wall. I've never seen so much police in one small little area. Try and get it.
And everyone's safe. It might sound so
That tree in the way, that's better. More up that side as well. Never seen so many in one place. A few friendly waves. See some flashing ambulance lights up here.
I bet you she's going to do exactly the same thing.
But yeah, there is a huge police presence heading up this direction. So we're going to go have a look and see if there's anything going on. so curious where this massive troop of coppers are going with these bags on. Yeah, I've had a long old walk up here. Big old rucksacks. They're coming down here. So this must be where they're based out of this weekend. Vehicles and that coming down as well. So, what is it? St. Charles RC Primary School. Is this where you're basing out of for the weekend, is it?
Lots of different ones.
Ah, okay, fair. They've got green, yellow permits for different areas by the looks of it, where they're meant to be parking. That's why there's a lot up here, all up and down here. And, oh, that's a tight squeeze. Pardon?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fantastic, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just wondering why you're taking an interest in our base or something.
That's interesting, isn't it? It's a big event. Just interested in how the Metropolitan Police schedule handle things. It's a huge event. It's sort of a behind the scenes sort of thing. Not everybody gets to see. You know, quite interesting. Walking out in massive troops. I don't think that's the same troop that just went in with the bags, but.
Not block this entranceway.
Oh, no,
loads of police coming.
Yeah, of course. I'm not blocking
Can you
it.
stand on that side? Because
I'm fine here.
They're
Thank
all
you.
going to be coming out.
I understand, and I'm a small person. I'm not big. I'll be fine here.
Afternoon.
Hiya. How's it going? The one with the whistle at the back. Interesting. So Alpha Whiskey 3008. Never seen so many coppers around in one place in my life. Never been to an event this big. We've got unmarked vehicles and that heading around. KR22MUP. That's one of the unmarked vehicles that operate around the area. Busy. So I think the main drag of the carnival is back up that way. I think what I might do is head up that way in a minute.
Can you stop it?
I know.
Alright guys, I'm going to set up my tripod here. Oh. And have a cigarette break, I think. Thirsty. Oh, we should get some more water.
Fair enough. Can I ask what you are or what you're doing?
Sorry, just make sure that camera's
that's
on the
fine.
right people that I'm talking to. Should I say that again, sorry?
Can I ask what you are? Do you?
What I am? Human.
Yes, but
Human.
and what you're doing? What just that's all we're just
Well,
asking.
what's going to do like constantly?
Yeah. Fine. Are you an auditor? Or
Pardon?
are you an auditor then?
Huh? Am I
An auditor.
an auditor? What's an auditor?
Are you an auditor or not?
What's an
No?
auditor? I
Just
don't understand what you're saying.
And auditor.
So people that come and film places for, I don't know, various reasons. Social media.
Sound like to spread a lot of people in the world. I don't,
Yeah, but it's just, I only come in and talking to you because you've set up, so just engage it and just seeing who you are. It's just a conversation.
Yeah, that's fair, no worries. Well, it's just a conversation. I'm fine. I'll go back to what I was doing.
Yeah,
Cheers.
okay. All right
Who have
then.
I spoken to today? You are, sorry.
You've spoken to Sergeant Pierce.
Sergeant Pierce, and your collar number? So I can find you
296 Alpha
296 Alpha Whiskey. And you are, sorry?
PC Davis.
Davis, and
220 Alpha Whiskey.
220 Alpha Whiskey. What's Alpha Whiskey? It's Charing Cross, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, thought so. Just seen a bunch of your colleagues doing naughty things. It's always the Charing Cross lot. Hey.
How are you?
Not bad, how are you?
I know you've been asked before. Can you just confirm what it is exactly you're filming and why?
You are, sorry?
I'm Inspector Baker-Doyle. I'm attached to Kensington Chelsea Neighbourhood Policing.
Kensington, Chelsea. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
to this borough, effectively.
Oh, right, okay, fair. No worries. But
So I'm just wondering why you're filming us all coming and going from our welfare station.
same response I gave Sergeant earlier.
What's that?
And go ask Sergeant. But you know I've been spoken to before.
I know, but I'm just asking you out of courtesy. Obviously,
know,
we've had a
that's
data
fine.
breach today in terms of being in the media for all of our warrant numbers and so on.
Oh, have you?
Well, I'm sure you've read the news this morning.
No, I actually haven't.
Okay, so
I actually
obviously
haven't.
we're really mindful of that in terms of our heightened
Right.
tensions and stuff, because quite
Okay.
frankly right now,
Yeah.
anyone could have all the more details in terms of our names, not necessarily addresses yet.
Sounds like you're
but
really ballsed up on that one, didn't you?
Not personally myself.
Well, no, not
the
you, but the
company that we
force,
outsource
the
it
force.
to. So all I'm asking is
Oh, that's
really
mad.
as to why
Straight
I
after
mean-
the PSNI did that as well.
Well, and they're at more risk than we are.
Yeah. Well, it's
yeah.
Northern Ireland's but more tension over there, isn't there? Yeah.
But that's my only reason. I'm not trying to be pedantic.
No,
I'm just
that's
literally
fine.
asking you as to why you're filming it. This is our welfare station. It's
Yeah.
all on the line.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you wanted to know how many officers we've got on duty today, you can apply for it under the
Freedom of
Freedom of
Information,
Information and
of
so on.
course,
So
yeah.
yeah. So I'm just wondering why.
Why not?
Is it a YouTube channel?
Huh?
Is it a YouTube channel?
Just taking some pictures and that. Why not? Why
You've got the
not?
opportunity to be in all the carnival footprint
Yeah.
and see the actual
So,
event,
a
but
lot
you're
of people-
focusing just solely on where we're having our events.
I've been up there.
Is it like an auditing YouTube channel?
Pardon?
Is it an auditing YouTube channel, effectively, what you've got? I'd assume that's what
I mean, I've never said that. I have a YouTube channel. But you are sorry.
238066
Okay.
PCBs here.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
At least you're
Yeah,
being
yeah.
respectful. That's all I would say.
Yeah,
At
no,
least
I got
on the
it.
other side of the
I'm
road.
I'm just really
Yeah.
curious
Not
because obviously we
making,
have
like-
people like
I'm
your
not.
good
I'm not.
self.
Yeah.
you're
I'm not getting in
allowed,
your way or
you know,
anything.
Ultimately, we have people
Yeah.
like your good self at the back of our gates. You know, Charing Cross, for example.
Yeah.
We've had officers
But they do it in a different
acquired
way
by
from you.
yourself.
Yeah.
It's not you personally, but people
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
in their faces what you're doing. Ultimately, we're doing our job.
Yeah.
We're here, but
Oh, I
at
mean,
the
if I
same
saw you doing
time-
anything wrong, then 100% I'd confront you on it, the same way you would me if I was doing
Yeah,
anything wrong.
absolutely,
100%.
but we've just got to have that mindfulness as to why
Yeah.
you're filming. It's technically, you know, we've got to be
Yeah.
mindful of counter-terrorism and things like that. So.
Okay, you can wonder, you can ask, and I don't have to answer your questions. I'm not going to answer your questions as to why I'm doing what I'm doing or what I'm doing here. That's my business.
But when it impedes on our operational
Right.
business, then that is when we'd have to have cause for concern.
Yeah, you can have your cause for concerns. You're free to have them, Inspector. I have cause for concerns every day, but I don't impose them on other people. You know, you by all means, you've got people stood there watching me. You got there's so many police around. I couldn't count them a million times over.
No, but again,
I'm-
it's where this video is going in
Yeah,
terms
yeah.
of people's security, because obviously
Yeah.
in theory we've got officers in here that are undercover
Right.
and doing their plain clothes work. Obviously, they
Oh,
don't
100%. I'll be
necessarily want
posting
to
them
be-
everywhere, and your undercover vehicles. 100%. I don't agree with undercover. So 100%.
We
That.
are allowed to wear.
Oh no, I know you're allowed to, but I don't agree with it. So 100%, I will always
Have you ever
dox
thought about
undercovers.
coming along a ride along with us to actually see our job from our side?
No,
Okay, you
actually.
should really think about that.
The
You
reason I
want to see
don't,
from a different
Inspector, to
side.
be completely honest with you, is because it's like people behave differently when they're being observed. If you know that you've got an observer with you, your behaviours are going to be differently.
Likewise, with your camera,
Yeah,
we're aware we behave differently.
I completely agree. I completely
I
agree.
personally don't
However,
behave any
for some
differently.
people it doesn't change. And like if and for some people, if I get interacted with by a police officer being rude when I know they're on camera, it says a lot about what they would do off camera. You guys, I'm not saying you guys have been rude. You guys have been great. Got no issues with you at all. You know.
I personally don't
but-
act any differently. You could
No.
come with me, you could have that filming all the time.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I've got this which protects myself.
What was
as
it,
much as
Inspector?
anything.
Sorry.
Baker-Doyle.
Baker-Doyle. Oh, it's down there, yeah.
All right.
Greg Baker-Doyle. I'll tell you what, have you got an email address? I can email
I
you
can
one.
give that to you now.
Yeah, if you say it, it's all
Alright, so
recorded.
P Papa is in the letter P.
Yep.
225235.
Yep.
At met.co.uk.
I'll shoot you an email one day,
You're more than welcome to
and
come
I'll tell you what,
patrol
if
with us.
you'll be happy with me filming along the ride along,
More than a problem.
all of it.
We'll have to get you signed some paperwork. It's
Yeah,
to
yeah.
say that you're with us for
Yeah, it's-
insurance purposes.
Absolutely,
blah, blah, blah,
but
so yeah.
all recorded, no cuts, no editing.
No, that's fine.
Obviously, I would blur out any victims' faces, things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Obviously,
there's a
that's
sensitivity
respectful.
on that
Yeah. But other than that, if you'd be up for that, I'd be up for the ride along.
Yep, email me please.
Alrighty.
I'm just based
You-
at Kensington Police Station.
Alright.
I
Alrighty.
joined the job after one of those. Let me
Did
just
you?
say, so, yeah,
Fair
they,
enough.
They provide a side of things that you don't need to see on TV.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Good one, buddy.
Cheers. So there's another one in cuffs. So yeah, we had the inspector for Kensington Chelsea Borough, which is pretty much where we are now. come out and chat to me. I didn't tell them what I'm doing here. I think it's pretty obvious. I think they're pretty clued up to it. I said, I would always. I don't agree with the undercover. I think. As I've said many times before, deterrence is the best available option. Their visibility is the best option that they have. Their goal should be to prevent crime, not just to catch it. And the best way to prevent crime is the visibility. I didn't get a chance to go and tell them that we're down to Charing for us to do this. Beautiful, actually. Very nice with the sun coming down. Yeah, very good.
Oh, thanks.
Nice. So what actually happened with this data breach this morning? Because I genuinely haven't checked the news.
I've not read. I just saw a bulletin thing.
I'll come out off
I haven't
paper
read
on the way.
anything about it. But
No?
No, I've not read anything about it.
Ah, so it's
Just
up.
look on BBC and sure all over.
Yeah, I haven't checked the news on that or nothing. That's absolutely crazy. Straight out, what was it, 2 weeks ago now the PSNI leaked the data and now the Met. Is it just the Met Police, or?
don't know.
You know nothing, fair enough. No worries. But
Yeah, like I said, at least you've
absolutely.
been like, respectful. But
yeah, I'm not
from
gonna.
what I've seen of
Yeah.
you do what you do, what I assume you do anyway. Like at least you've been.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean.
taking,
I could stand there and stand
Yeah,
right next to
you
the
know
film,
what
and
I
I was
mean?
stood there like a few hours ago. I stood there
The
filming
way
for a
some
bit.
people have done it, they try and walk in and try and agitate the situation. You're not doing that. It's fine.
No,
I've
I mean,
got no issue.
at the end of the day, it's a school, it's private property.
Yeah.
I would assume that I don't really want to be going
Some
on there
people like
anyway.
twist their luck,
but-
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
boundaries
at a
and
police
every
station,
point.
100% I would. Like if there was no signage, 100% I would push every boundary.
It's a police station.
But
Or you got Google. You're there because you're not a police station.
oh yeah, 100%. But it's like what they call a pregnancy test when with like software development, things like that. Buildings, it's like how far can you impregnate a building, get past security before you're caught, sort of thing. It's like testing your boundaries and making sure, because you have what you call secure sites, so they should be secure. So it's like anywhere that's publicly available, basically we're allowed to walk around, we're allowed to film, we're alled to take photographs, things like that.
Office of police station.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
exactly.
issues.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. Like if you have gates and stuff closed,
But then on a
signage.
personal level,
Yeah.
people are giving out like personal details and
So,
reporting crime, things like that, and then
yeah,
they want to feel
Yeah,
safe.
myself and a lot of people that do this, we do try to, if we go into like the front counter sort of area, if there are people in there, we always try and wait for it to be as clear as possible.
Sure,
if
yeah.
somebody is reporting something sensitive, we try not to post it unless there was like, say I was being like
Unless
handled.
One of us came up.
Well,
with
if I was being handled, yeah, and it was in the background, then
Yeah, sure.
some things are unavoidable. But I would argue that the onus is on you as the police to provide a safe place for somebody to hand details not in public. You know.
Yeah, but there are conversations that happen like that, like in terms of me saying a lawyer's name, are you here for this guy?
Yeah.
And that would be that sort of issue that
100%.
maybe that you wouldn't be aware of, and I wouldn't be aware you're there necessarily.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, what are you doing? That's not right.
Yeah, 100%. And again, I agree with what you're saying, and it depends. Like if you weren't talking to me necessarily, then no, I wouldn't include that in any footage. But I would still argue that the onus is on you to make sure that you're not saying that information in public and sharing that. As you're controlling people's data, your data handlers, I would argue that you have a responsibility. You could go up to somebody and say on a bit of paper, is this you? Are you waiting for this person? So you don't have to verbally announce it. I know it's a bit more time consuming and everything.
Do you go to doctor's surgeries and things like that?
Oh, and I don't agree with that either, yeah. I think that's completely wrong the way they do it in doctor's surgeries, you know. With the digital age that we have, I don't think there's an excuse for it. There are other solutions, and I know they cost money, they take time to implement.
If I asked, what would you say your point was today? What are you trying
my point is that I've never been to Hill Carnival, so I thought I'd come check it out.
Yeah.
It's so busy up there, I'm not getting massive swathes of people, so. And as I was just walking down the side streets, I just happened to stand across this place. So I just, you know, I think the Met are starting to get better with it, but in terms of just setting up my tripod, standing here taking pictures, video, or whatever in public, you guys are getting much better with not confronting us in the way that you did a year ago, 2 years ago. You are getting much better with it. We walk around, especially things like this where there are always confrontations between public and police and things like this. I've been walking around and making sure that when the police do interact with somebody in a way they're using their powers, they are doing so correctly and not doing what they shouldn't be doing.
That you've not seen anything.
Unfortunately, I have. There was one guy who was stopped and searched anyway. It's the one that actually the police van pulled down. I picked him up a minute ago. His stop and search just seemed completely unreasonable to me. It was so loud I couldn't really hear what was being said, but from what I was seeing, it seemed completely unreasonable.
You're at a distance where you might not be aware of what was taking place before.
Potentially,
that as well,
from what I could see, he had a joint in his hand, and that prompted a stop and search. And I'm like, how many people are smoking joints up there? How many people are doing NOS balloons? Yeah, exactly. And you got people doing NOS balloons up there, and the police sit there watching them do it because it's a joint, it's a NOS balloon. It ain't crack cocaine. They ain't selling it to kids. Things like that are going to happen in places like this, and you know you can't stop everything.
What do you think the limit is on what we should deal with at something like
That's
this?
an interesting question. I think violent crime should be a priority
Exactly,
here.
yeah.
Violent crime. Now, again, if it's somebody walking along with a joint in their hand, as long as they're not dealing it to people, that becomes a different thing. But if there's have a joint in their hand, personal use, I don't see an issue. I don't think we should be criminalised anyway, in my opinion.
Okay.
So that's a whole debate in of itself.
Yeah, definitely.
NOS balloons again, like they're having a laugh. It's NOS, they're putting themselves at harm by doing it. But as long as they're not giving it to other people and selling it.
But likewise, if we don't make sure that there is, if someone was smoking to the point that they are passed out in the street, that creates a different issue. We want to make sure that there's a personal protection issue. If they're not protecting themselves, who protects them? We've got to be there to protect them.
But then there's people up there drinking until they're passed out on the floor, you know. Yeah, of course, but you don't stop them drinking unless they're being rowdy. Unless they're being rowdy or out of control, drunk and disorderly, then you can get involved. If somebody's smoking and they're out of control with it, which let's say if you're smoking a spliff, it's probably, if they're out of control with it, it's probably not a spliff they're smoking.
You've just seen that. Who knows what else he had on him after we found the spliff, right? Because let me tell you, someone who's willing to break a law is willing to break more laws, right? Do you not see it from that point?
But then I would argue that every single person, including yourself and all your good constables, have broken a law at some point. You know that?
For sure. I would say
So you're saying that.
But if we don't challenge that behaviour and explore further what they're doing and why they're doing it,
but then again, as I saw,
then things get out of control.
Yeah, and as I saw, he had a spliff in his hand, and that prompted the stop search. And I'm like, but again, the personal use.
When we run someone's details through, we find God knows what on their system.
Yeah, but then why? Then again, if he gave his details, he was stupid for doing that.
So we can only say that as a bite size of what we've seen.
Yeah, but anyway, so that was one thing. I'll let you do that. Yeah, and the other one that I saw was as that had just happened and the police were all walking past and that. The police say like there's a couple of coppers stood here. There's a chap stood about here talking to a copper, and the person being arrested was being escorted past. after the person's been escorted past, say you two, for example, the copper stood where your colleague is, grabbed this guy and said, I said move out the way, and shoved him out the way. It's like, but the copper's already gone past you, he's not in the way of anybody, and you've just assaulted him. And he just thought it's hilarious. Oh, I've heard funny enough chat. Oh, Charing Cross. Yeah. But I heard the inflection in that year. But yeah. And
again, like, you can't take a microcosm.
No, I'm not.
of
Again.
One's actions.
No.
Reflect on them.
No. But
We
Charing
all-
Cross does have a reputation in the Metropolitan Police.
I would say it did. Let's put it that way.
It
Did, like what has been reported on.
yeah.
I can't really say because I wasn't a part of any of that.
You weren't there
So
then,
I'm
yeah.
not that
No.
person,
That's
effectively,
fair.
that you
No,
would say,
I get that, and
yeah.
I'll give everybody their dues, 100%. You know, that's why I'm not being rude to you, I'm not being
No,
abusive
exactly,
or anything.
you're not,
I give
yeah.
everybody their dues. You know, I can be abrasive when somebody's abrasive to me first.
Yeah,
You know,
as we all-
but everybody deserves that two-way street. You know,
I think policing is about approaching someone how you want to be approached, talking to them how you want to be
100%.
talked to,
100%.
and dealing with things that aren't necessarily right.
it all comes back to the Peelian principles, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The public to the police, and the police to the public.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and you know, all we expect of you is to work and live by your oath and work within the Peelian principles. You know,
I'd
and
like to say I do, but who knows?
yeah.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, anyway, nice to meet you. I'm going to crack on and go check out some more of this carnival. Yeah. So, new recruit for Charing Cross. Hopefully his behaviour and his attitude is indicative of how Charing Cross and the Metropolitan are going to be changing. I must say, actually, I haven't seen any of the thin blue line flags around today, so I'm glad to see that. Yeah, a nice little chat there with that Charing Cross constable. Yeah, hopefully that attitude and behaviour does continue on. And, it is indicative. But we will see. The future will tell. But yeah, we're going to go back up here to the carnival here. And have a little look what's going on up here. I think the way I'll probably work this, guys, is that little video there. I'll put up one, and the arrests and assault and that. I'll put in a different video, and I'll link it. Because it has cost me money to get here and do this, so I won't be able to monetize with the music in. But we'll see what I get around to doing.
You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me